Hello, everyone. It's Betty Ray again, and with Raphael, we're here to answer your questions. We're live, so you can type in a question for us, and we will be very, very happy to talk to you. This is day 19 of 30 Days to Happiness. We're moving right along. And it's nice, though, that you can watch this at any time of the day. But it is a discipline. We are actually helping you to learn how to use your inner senses. You have five outer senses of smell and taste and touch and all of those. You actually have more than five inner senses. A friend of mine just let me know that there's eight inner senses. So you have that intuition that is like a flower ready to be watered and to open up and give you great perfume. So don't hesitate to actually have that experience. So today, now, if you did yesterday's exercise, we would have you have written 50 things you no longer desire to experience. 50 things. And as I said yesterday, my friend, when I was asked to do this, she told me to find 100 things, and I actually did. And every little thing, I no longer want to have clutter in my house. I no longer want to have any pain in my body. I no longer want to have a dysfunctional marriage. I no longer wish to have whatever. And then today, you have to turn that around and say, I want to create, I desire to create a relationship that is peaceful and harmonious. I desire to create a body that is healthy. I desire to create dot, 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 fill in the blanks. And that is what today's message is. So we say to each of you, rejoice and be glad, dear ones. You are creating your future with every thought you have in this moment in time. Raphael is right there for you. I don't have an exclusive on the archangel. Nobody does. And they are like Jesus. Anybody who calls on the master can have that message from that just enlightened being just like you can. And this, impossible for us in a time space element to understand that. We don't understand how God can be in everyone and everything and hear our very prayers, but God is not responsible for answering our prayers. That's not God's job. That's your job. What God will do will help you find the steps to get to wherever it is you want to create. You will be inspired is what to do from where this moment you are to when you get inspired to do something different. Those are the ways that you can create. And it is an amazing experience, and it's really a privilege to be a human being on planet Earth now. You are in the time of times of the raising of consciousness when more and more people are going to wake up. It's like they're going to have this light bulb turn on over their head, like there's this chain above them, and click, and they'll go, whoa, I never thought about that before. And so more and more people are doing that, and more people are becoming aware because politics cannot be hidden anymore. Lies are shown as lies, and truth can be proven as truth. So when you have Dr. Fauci telling you to wear a mask and to do testing, then you have somebody else telling you, oh, you don't need to wear a mask. I can't breathe through a mask, so I'm just going to throw that away. And the death toll keeps rising because there are people that don't believe the science. And it's like I said at other times, you really need to understand that these people have studied all about the human body and all about viruses. They have the answers. People who know nothing about science don't have the answer. They're simply looking for their own immediate comfort, and those are beginner souls. You don't want to listen to a beginner soul. They are into their own immediate gratification, their own physical happiness. They don't care about anybody else but what they want in that moment in time. Watch out for those people. They are the virus spreaders. They're the ones who won't wear a mask, and they don't care if they spread the virus to anyone else because they're too much into their own young soul needs. And so we've already said that. Okay, so What are 50 things that you want to turn around and be something you can be happy with? And this is what the little booklet says. I desire to create a happy life. I desire to create a healthy, happy body. I desire to surround myself with happy people. I desire to find the means to have all my financial needs met easily, with money left over to spend in whatever I choose. I desire to have relationships only with happy, successful, intelligent, humorous, uplifting people. Now, sometimes you don't have a choice in that matter. I mean, if you're living with a spouse that's always a downer, you can't have a giggle laugh now and then I feel sorry for you, because that's really hard to raise your energy up to have that feeling of joy and happiness when you've got somebody who's always knocking you down, who's always saying, oh, that's stupid. Why do you believe that? Who's always putting you down. You need to stay away from that kind of energy. And if you have to, you need to leave it. And I can tell you, after 32 years of marriage, that was a very hard thing for me to do. My children were already grown up and gone, and yet it was a traumatic change for my family. And it wasn't always a happy one. I was the one that broke up the family, so I was the one that everybody blamed. But I survived it. And I don't know that I would have survived it, because see, I was getting ill. I was having all kinds of illnesses. And I knew it was because of the depression, and it was because of the tension that was going on. And it was killing me. And so you have to look at your life. You need to look and say, this is not good for me. This is poisoning me. And I need to change it. Now, it may not be a relationship. It might just be that you are in a situation where if you can change it, maybe it's a job. And if you can change it, then you should change it. But I'm sure if it's a job and you've got one, you're going to hold on to it during this virus time, because it's not a time to go looking for a job. We know that. And so, again, I'm going to raise this up a little bit because I want you to see that picture behind you, right back there. That little picture is an example of how your guardian angels, they may not be little cherubs like that. In fact, angels don't wear wings, and they don't start out as little babies like that. They are created by God to be messengers for God's words. They do the translation, and they whisper in your ear, and that's how I hear Raphael. It's called telepathic communication. Excuse me. And that means that I get the idea in a flash, and then I have to wrap words around it to translate it, to tell it to you. And Raphael is saying very clearly, rejoice and be glad in all things, no matter what you're experiencing in your life. And I just had a conference with a client whose mother has just been told she has cancer. And that's a wow, that's a horrible experience to have. And yet, everybody has to plan an exit off the highway of life. Everybody has one, and usually your soul has two or three of them that it can choose when it's time to leave this planet. And so, don't be upset when you hear that somebody has created some kind of an illness and they're on their way out. Instead, rejoice and be glad for them. Their journey's almost over. It's not easy being a human being on a planet. It's not easy being in a physical body. And the older you get, the harder it is to stay in a happy body. It really takes good care and upkeep. And I just celebrated my 86th birthday yesterday. I have to tell you that. And it was a joyful experience because my daughter set up a Zoom meeting. My children are scattered all across the United States. I have four, three boys and a girl, and I don't get to see them that much. And so this was a wonderful family gathering. It was a reunion, and it was fun to get caught up with everybody. And so there's ways of communicating now that you need to learn how to use those tools. That Zoom meeting, she knew how to do it. She set it all up and made sure that everybody was there, and it was beautiful. It was just what a wonderful gift for an old lady. And yet we say to you, you're only as old as you believe you are. And I have a friend who doesn't even like me to tell people how old I am because I don't look it, and she says that's none of their business. And yet it is, because I give hope to people who are in their senior moments. And I do have my senior moments. Oftentimes I can't remember names, or I can't remember things that are that will come back to me, but it takes a little bit longer than normal. But I keep busy, and that's one of the things that keeps everybody healthy, is keeping busy. As you know, I've written some novels. I have 2 novels on Amazon, and they're a fun read, and they were fun to write. I had any capabilities of that, although I have studied writing and gone to study groups, and I've read books on it, and I've studied in how to be a writer, a good writer. Oh, thank you, William, for being here today. He said, "Good morning, Betty. The day's blessings to you, and happy birthday." Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I'm so glad that you have joined us. And I hope that you are feeling better today. Are you feeling better in your physical body? Or is it the same old, same old? How is it going? We'll wait till he has a chance to type some kind of a response. But I'm so glad he's here with us. And I hope he will spread the word, and that you, if you're listening but don't want to make a comment, that you'll spread the word to others, that Raphael and I are here to give you messages from the other side. Now, does that mean that I can bring you messages from those who have passed over? Sometimes Raphael will do that with me. He's the one that will call that spirit and ask them if they would like to be in contact through our channeling here. Sometimes I don't even have to go into any kind of a trance state. I just get the flash of an idea and I share it with those clients. Remember, too, that we are offering messages from the Archangel free of charge. You can make an appointment, you can have an hour of our time, you can ask all kinds of questions, and you will feel the joy and the love that comes from this Archangel. It's absolutely amazing. So please pass the word around and try it for yourself, and by contacting us through angelbettyray@gmail.com. ANGELBETTYRAE@gmail.com. And we'll be more than happy to set up a time when we can do a telephone reading. We don't do in person during the coronavirus, but we do telephone readings and have clients all over the world. So it works. And if we wanted to use Skype or something like that so we could actually see one another, I can do that as well. I don't know that much about Zoom, but that's for when you have a group of people, and you don't need that. So please pass the word around that Betty Ray is here to give messages from the Archangel Raphael. Now, Raphael comes from the green ray of God, and that means that it's the healing energy. And those of you who have been born through the green ray, you have the desire to be of service to others, to be a healer. And it's sometimes a healer of bodies, and sometimes it's a healer of souls. Now, I'm not from the green ray, but it's been one of my ambitions, is to be a healer of souls. And that's what Raphael says. I'm not a healer of bodies, but I do bring through the green ray of Raphael. And that makes it so that they can be both. I don't do it, Raphael does. And so please don't hesitate to get in touch with us and having an uplifting reading from Raphael. And so let's talk again about today. Yesterday, you were supposed to have 50 things you no longer desire to experience. William, I imagine one of them was that you no longer desire to experience ill health, and you would like to have an immediate what did you call it, where it kind of disappears. And that is something that's always possible. And it depends on if it is your soul's highest and greatest good. This is where it is often hard for us to accept. Okay, good. William says, the sun is shining here today in Michigan with cooler temperatures. Hallelujah. Blessing, although grief, is the path few like to walk through. I am walking through in spirit with his dear friend who just passed away. They have been friends and companions for, even though they didn't always live together, they've been intimate companions. It's those soulmates for so many years. And to suddenly have that communication cut off, even though this friend of his is in spirit, This woman is still alive and well and really wants you to know, Bill, that she's still there and she's going to be there for you. And that's what we're hearing right now. She's got her arms and she's around you and she's giving you a hug. And you're probably getting goosies from head to foot like I am right now. But her spirit is very much near you. She has not completed the transition. She's still kind of saying goodbye to people. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen her in dreams or even have seen her in person. Have you had a sense of her ghost around you? And I wouldn't be a bit surprised that you have, because she is so happy to be out of that physical body that she just kind of just almost giggles all over. And she wants you to know that it is such a blessing not to carry around that physical body anymore. And you certainly understand that because you have had so many problems with your physical body for such a long time. Okay. William is saying that remission prayers for physical blessings. Yes, that's what is needed. Okay. I'm going to pull this down. I guess it has. And he says, yes, she has visited. So I am right in that. She's still around. And that's because she loves you so much and she wants you to be happy and she wants you to be out of pain and suffering that you've been going through for so many years. And you've been blessing to others in your way of coping with this handicap, this feeling that you are not able to take care of yourself. And yet, you have, over all these years, you've manifested all of your needs. You have people that come in and take care of their house for you. But you can get up still and get around, even though it's very painful for you. You're to be admired and to be blessed in the gift that you give to other people. And so, and I'm so glad to hear that her spirit has visited you. And I knew you would be aware of that, but that's what she's telling me. She's not going to leave for a while yet because she knows that you need her spirit around you for a while. But she does have to make that transition. She has to go through the vortex of ascension. This is like an energy whirlwind that people used to call the tunnel, that you go to the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what Raphael calls the vortex of ascension. And once you go into that tunnel, it has a gentle pulling that pulls you toward that light. And what it's doing, it's almost like cleansing you of all of the ties that you have to planet Earth and the people still on the planet. So this is what she's not ready to go through yet. She still has to say her goodbyes to other people as well. And so she's still here. And when she finally goes through that vortex, she will not look back. She will be free. And yet, because she's an advanced soul, she will be able to decide to come back and visit whenever she decides to and whenever you call on her. But so many people that lose a loved one, they don't want to let go. And we've had cases where a mother who I remember especially, she had nursed her son through AIDS, and it was a long, drawn out, painful experience for both of them. And when he died, she was able to communicate with him telepathically, and it just gave her such joy knowing that he was free of that physical body and that he was happy. But she didn't want to let go of him when he was ready to move on. And in fact, he contacted his sister and asked her, would she please take his mother to Betty Ray and have her let him go? And so, yes, they did come to me. I did see what was going on. Raphael showed me what it was, but the mother refused to let go. She wanted to be able to communicate with her son. She wouldn't let him go. He pleaded because once you are on the other side, you have work to do there. You have things to do, and you need to be able to let go. So he wasn't able to go through the vortex of ascension, and he was kind of stuck in between worlds. He was partly here in the physical world and partly in heaven, if you will. He really wanted to make that transition. I don't know how long it took, but I know that it didn't happen in the visit when she came to visit me. And so understand, please, that you are spirit first and physical body last. And the physical body is just an overcoat that you wear for a period of time on the planet. And when it no longer serves you, you will just take it off and you will take your duplicate body, which will be the perfect essence of what you are. So, like if people have a limb severed or something, when they are in their physical body, it's right back there. It's alive. It is absolutely beautiful. And that's why, even when you do astral traveling, you have your full body intact and it's your perfect glorified body. And so, learn to astral travel. This is what we say to you, William. Learn to astral travel and go visit your friend on the other side and have that freedom to be out of the physical body for a while. That's a remission you can be guaranteed to use. And I don't know if you've had that experience, but I do hope that you do learn to do that. I've tried to do astral traveling and I've never been able to do it. It's just not for me, I guess. But that is really a thing. For those of you that don't know, what we call astral is another name for the next dimension that we go into before we go through the vortex of ascension into heaven, as it's called, which is a different plane of existence, a higher vibrating plane. Okay, so Again, let's look at those 50 things now that you want to create in your life. And I've already given you some of the things. You'd like to create the ability to do astral traveling so that you can be free of your physical body for a while and you can have a chance to visit with those on the other side. Now, there's no guarantee that if you learn to lift your spirit consciously out of your physical body, that you will be allowed to go into those higher dimensions. You often have to have a guide to be able to do that. And so it's not a guarantee that even if you float above your body and you see yourself stuck in the ceiling and you're looking down on your physical body and you realize, oh my God, I'm up here on the ceiling and my body's down there and sound asleep. And then you could float right through the ceiling and out into the night and be free for a while. Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be fantastic? Well, you do it every night, people. This is part of how you keep your sanity. You go astral traveling every night. Your spirit leaves your body, and you can sometimes have flying dreams. And that's where you just feel so free. You're just floating above the earth and you are enjoying the stars, and you are perfectly healthy. And everything works in the physical body that is now spirit. It's your glorified body, and that's what you take with you when you leave the planet. And so I know we didn't plan on talking about life after death, but we're also talking about life with life, that you are more than this physical body, and your spirit body is perfectly healthy. So you need to picture yourself perfectly healthy. Picture yourself in that spirit body that is your glorified body. And when you do, you may even astral travel because you are focusing on that. And so that may be on your list of things you desire to create, but make 40 more, 49 more ideas of what you would like to experience. And again, don't hesitate to call on us, Raphael and I, to be able to help you along your journey. AngelBettyRay@gmail.com. And we're more than happy to have a time with you and Raphael. And so here again, this is the day I will turn my list of 50 things I no longer desire to experience in my life into 50 things I desire to create and experience in my life. And we're not going to stay along it much longer. We're going to say, look at that picture up there and know that you do have angels whispering in your ear. You do have angels inspiring you to lift up your heart and mind and soul out of the feeling that you are helpless and is hopeless and into the knowing that you are a co-creator with God and that you do have powers to create beauty and goodness in your world. You may be stuck in that physical body for a while, but you have a spirit that can spread joy and peace and harmony to all around you. Do that this day and lift up your own spirits in knowing that you are divinely perfect just as you are right now, but that you can visualize a different life if you choose. So, God bless each of you. Thank you for joining our channel today. Thank you, William, for being with us. And I'm so glad the sun is shining in Michigan. The sun is shining here in Florida like it is 90% of the time. And I don't even know what the temperature is, but it's very comfortable in my house. I keep it about 72 or 74. Oh, William has another thing to say. Oh, thank you. Blessings to you, dear one, Betty. Okay, and blessings to each of you. We'll see you again at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Tell your friends that they can give us a question, and Raphael and I will give you an answer. It's been a joy to be with you. Thank you. God bless.